Gets the question first will have 3 minutes. The other 3 will have a minute and a half to respond or to amplify or to disagree or respond in any way. So the next question for Jim. Many legislators measure success by the end of the district from Washington. Would you consider this an effective measurement and why or why not?
No, you know, one of our problems right now, of course, and I addressed that in the first question, is spending. We have to get our spending levels down. And I've said all along that one of the things I would implement as far as getting spending is a freeze on everything except military spending, and really try and eliminate 99% of the earmarks. Now, the reason I would never say eliminate 100% of the earmarks, there are some earmarks that actually bring jobs back to the district. I was with a submarine manufacturer last week actually, and he gets earmarked dollars for military spending. And I told you in the beginning that military is a #1 spending and a #1 area that I believe we, the federal government, needs to, that's what the federal government's there for. So I'm going to believe in a strong military. And he actually gets earmarked dollars not only to employ people, but he actually gets earmarked dollars to save costs on certain functions of that submarine. Those kind of dollars, I think, need to be, and I know I've been asked the question several times, would you eliminate 100% earmarks? No, 99% of them. I don't believe in the duck crossing in California. I don't believe in the bridges to nowhere. And I also believe in one thing extremely important. If you're going to bring an earmark back to your district, I want you to put it up on the internet so that everybody can see what you're trying to support. None of these hidden earmarks. One of the problems we have in our system today is a bill is just about ready to be passed, and people put earmarks in, and nobody knows who puts them in, and nobody knows who, you know, what the reasons for. I would say that if you put an earmark into the system, you need to disclose it, you need to put it out on the internet, and you need to let the people of your district understand why you're supporting it, but also the people of the country why you're supporting it, because some of them, again, related to military, are very powerful reasons to have those earmarks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Doyle?
Mary Justice was a state representative from my hometown, and he made a point that he would not have any earmarks. He didn't. They had 600 millionaires paying state tax to the state, and they insisted that the money not come back to Henderson County, but everyone else took it. Now, if we're going to cut out earmarks, we have to cut it out for everybody. And if you're going to try to cut that out, you've got to make sure that we have equality between the different districts so that we're not ending up with what happened with Henderson County. All of its money went to another county, and therefore they never got any benefit from their own state taxes, and it went to other counties. It's important that we notice that it is even across the board throughout Congress.
Thank you. Paul?
I believe that the days of campaigning with promises for, you know, bags of goodies for the constituents is over. We cannot afford to do this any longer, and that'll turn off maybe a lot of the moderates and liberals in the audience, but the fact of the matter is our budget deficits, our trade deficits have skyrocketed to the point where we can't go back to the system the way it used to be. We need to fully understand that our government is broke, and that's another reason for the life of me why I don't understand why we're pushing through cap and trade and Obamacare, health care, socialized medicine that's going to drastically increase the deficit even more. And then we have the problem of currency manipulation from Red China that's got to end. So I believe we've got to end the earmarks. We need to drive down the budget deficit. And finally, we've got to make sure that deals like Obamacare and cap and trade do not pass.
Thank you. Matt?
I think Paul hits on it. Right now, no matter where I go and no matter where I talk with people, their #1 concern, other than jobs, is government spending. Government spending. And over again, I'm reminded of the fact that such a small portion of our federal budget is actually discretionary spending. So much of it is already committed to Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and the other programs and promises that we've already made to the American people. In that context, and I also agree with Mr. Renacci, he's often heard me say that I do believe the #1 role of the federal government is to finance the U.S. military. And so yes, that is some place where we need to increase our investment. But if we are serious about getting our budget under control, we must eliminate earmarks. I will make it my priority to work hard day and night in Washington to reduce the size and scope of our federal government. That way communities won't have to try to get their monies back from Washington. Hopefully, ultimately, it will have never left their local communities and went off to Washington in the first place. After all, when you reduce the size and expense of government, you'll be surprised at how many dollars then can be used back home.
Thank you.